What's up, everyone? I'm Joe Lemon, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Value Exchange. So I'm going to take this week off. I got my good friend from, we go back though, man, from college days. And I got Thomas Murphy, who's normally working behind the scenes of the show. But he's the mastermind mixing in all the extra tracks. Thomas has a crazy background when it comes to the music industry, and he has some great stories to tell about him coming up in Atlanta during the whole rush, and whenever Young Jeezy and everybody else was really trying to get the whole city moving, or they were getting it moving, I should say. Man, he was there. He was in the studios, and so I'm going to let him dictate this actual interview. And he has his friend, co-owner of Patchwork Studios out of Atlanta, Fat Prophet. So sit back, enjoy this. Hope you guys love this episode.
I won't tell anybody.
Keep that secret between that.
You got levels on us?
Yeah.
The Real Value Exchange here in ATL. I'm sitting here with Prophet.
That's Fat Prophet.
Fat Prophet. You can't even
Fat Prophet, yeah.
From Carson, California.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that beat play out, and then we'll get right to the interview. Let's see if I can do this justice by Joe. Real Value Exchange. I'm filling in for Joe Lemon. This is Thomas Murphy. And I'm sitting here with Fat Prophet at Patchwork Studios.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Okay, let's get right into it. All right, let's just start from the beginning. Where are you from?
Rethink is a new proprietary natural formula loaded with healthy extracts such as red spinach, the newest and only standardized natural nitrate on the market, aronia berry, top antioxidant in the world, and red beets, all three of which are nitric oxide precursors. What else do you get in a one serving of Rethink? Turmeric, ginger, mango extract, and inulin. Boost your daily vitality like a pro athlete.
From Carson, California.
Carson, California. All the way over here. What brought you here?
Music.
I figured that much. And you came here at what age?
18, 19.
18, 19 years old. Mm-hmm. That must have been a good time to get into the music business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I got here in 2004. That's when I met you.
Yeah, it's been a long road. Mm-hmm.
You were here in 2000.
All right. Yeah, about 2000, 2001.
So when you first got here, what kind of projects were you working on? What was going on?
Cash Money had the studio on a lot. Birdman was pretty much setting the foundation for Cash Money right as it is currently. It's a stronghold on the music industry.
And that was right from the jump. As soon as you got here, you were working at Patchwork.
First got here, came, I was just in the yard every day, trying to get a deal.
Give me a little background on your connection with the whole Patchwork family.
I'm from the Patch in Carson, California. We're a small neighborhood called Cabbage Patch. Small clique of people, just been putting on for a long time. I'm from that side of town.
And that's what the studio got its name from?
Mm-hmm.
The Patch.
Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of Cabbage Patch fields in the area, so we call this Cabbage Patch. We just kind of took it around with it.
So I'm sure you got some interesting stories.
Man, I got a lot of interesting stories.
We got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I know I can get a couple out of you, but what would you say? Let's start with one Joe was asking me. What would be one of the toughest moments here in the recording industry?
Just trying to find yourself, finding your identity, finding your direction and where you really want to go. It's probably going to be the hardest thing you could do, navigating through the waters, trying not to lose your money, maintaining your real life and the life of the artist that you're creating. Often is two different lives, completely. So
guess
it's a balancing act.
that's a good segue into my next question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Probably the second thing, the way things run sometimes. I mean, you say everybody said goals in life, but nothing stays solid form. Everything kind of changes. In most careers, things don't change. Like medicine, it doesn't really change much. It changes a lot, but it doesn't change as in, what you'll be doing. With hip-hop, things change, the whole wall falls out. You have multiple genres of music going on at one time and mixes of music. It kind of change what the music is as a complete whole. You might have a job today and tomorrow you unemployed. Like a lot of the rappers that are basically older rappers that I guess lost their voice. They just kind of got scared and just ran away. And let the new generation say whatever they want. But I guess that's kind of why gangsters and, thugs run the streets now, because nobody really has a voice. No one really stands up. Everyone kind of just cowers out and like, oh, let them just do what they want to do.
Well, who is saying something? Who is standing up?
Because I don't know. I mean, I can't even really say Kendrick standing up, because Kendrick is more like it's the status quo of that. It's like, you can't be a gangster and a political rapper. You either one or the other. You notice how they do it? You're Common or you're Ice Cube. It's never. Tupac was the only medium. He was the only one that was like a political gangster that was like pressing the line for the gangsters to respect him and the political people, because he had good views and knew exactly what he was saying when it came to that. But these days, it's like, you're either uber black, like a Kendrick, supposedly Afrocentric, but it doesn't show up. I mean, not to me, not in the real sense of what it means to, stand up for, for the music.
I mean, J. Cole's last album, he was at least making a point about all the drugs and.
But I mean, how can you just talk about a culture that? I mean, that is the culture, and it's bigger than just what the rappers are doing. It's the people that are putting it out. I mean, why are you attacking just the regular peasants that are just following the game plan? I call them sheeples. It's thousands of sheeples will follow you, into wherever you're trying to kind of get at, but attacking it isn't going to help it in any way, Not these days. It's, it's a bigger issue than what they're doing. It's the fact that it's even being put out or it's even being really accepted. Why is it being accepted? That's a real question.
I mean, and some would say, hey, that's just evolution. That's how things change. Started with Crunk here. I mean, I saw that movement. No one really was.
It started with real first. If you go back to Outkast and the Goody Mobs and the type of vibe that was coming out of Atlanta, it was a real vibe. It was like, I used to listen to Goody Mob to learn about the South, learn about what was going on. I was hungry for knowledge, and through rappers is where you get it when you don't hear it at home, or you're kind of in a protected box. A rapper's point of view sometimes is the only view that you'll have of the outside world, or a view into their perception.
So that could be part of the problem. All these young guys, they don't have the wisdom to share, but they got the mouthpiece.
Yeah, but so they show, that's the same thing that they've been doing in the communities forever. Is basically, it's like anybody that knows anything to really make a difference, let's get rid of them. Let's get them out the picture, lock them up, or kill them. Because you once you get wise, they don't want you talking to the younger people. They want to keep a gap. They want to keep it separate to where you can't work together. You will never really learn early enough before you make fatal mistakes that'll cost you. Well,
let me ask you a question that we ask all the interviewers. Got 3 words: grit, growth, and give. How would you place those in order of importance?
I mean,
grit, growth, and give.
First, you want to grow. You want to be about growth, And as you grow, that's how you gain your grit. You gain your traction as you're growing. And then, you know, you want to give to maintain your growth. If you're not giving up anything, you're not gaining anything. You know, you have to give things to receive things, you know, so.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, I put it a little different. I put grit first.
Put grit first?
Because, say an extreme example. You're laid out on the sidewalk bleeding out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the grit to get up and get moving.
Right.
Whatever your situation is.
Right.
So I see grit being first.
But if you don't have growth, without growth, I mean, the fact that you didn't have growth is probably the reason that you're laying on the sidewalk bleeding.
Could be.
So it kind of puts you in a situation where it's like, yeah, you need the grit, but the growth is going to keep you out of the situations and out of those type of, you know, hard, you know, testing situations to where, you know, maybe if you grow mentally or, you know, especially mentally, grow mentally, then you could get yourself out of those situations. Grow physically so you could get yourself out of those situations. I mean, a lot of times if you don't even start pressing yourself or pushing yourself, you don't even know what grit is. Most people don't even know what grit is for real because they never really been pressed to the maximum or to the limit to really see if they'll win or they'll lose, if they'll make it. So, you know, you really don't know until you start pressing somebody of what they're capable of.
Absolutely. Okay. There's another topic. We were talking about the home versus pro studio. Where are we with that right now?
The home and pro studio is right now, I think it's a little tricky because I think the industry always runs in circles. So what happens is they get you all amped up on this home equipment and recording and doing this sound at home. But if you're not paying attention to see where the streaming platforms and how they're operating, how they're starting to take off and go bigger, and then paying attention to with net neutrality and all of these different things that are happening with the internet and bandwidth and how they, you know, process data, they're setting you up for the failure because the type of recordings that they're going to want to hear, by the time they really open up that bandwidth and make it where you can hear music at the top quality, it's going to sound like shit because it's coming from a home studio. It's not coming from a professional studio that's made to make music sound at the peak quality and loses a lot of quality in the transition to MP3s or the lower quality files. Eventually, they'll make it to where you hear like how it sounds in the studio right off of the board. And most of these people, if people are paying for high quality recordings or they want to hear high quality songs or they're paying these streaming services to hear these recordings at that peak, they'll be right back in the big recording studio. You know, I mean, you only could do so much at a home studio.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a big difference.
It limits you in a lot of ways. It's freedom.
I mean, on paper, you might be able to argue, hey, I can make the same sound, but it is not the same.
Well, I mean, I think studios are created, and real professional studios are created to inspire you.
That's what I was about to say. The magic is missing.
They're created for inspiration. It's like, man, I'm in here. I'm at the next level. I made it to the pinnacle. I made it to where it really happens at. You know, it motivates you. It changes your feeling. It changes the direction. It changes the seriousness versus when you're at home. You know, and especially it changes the environment. You know, when you wonder why you hear 90% of these artists, oh, trap. Oh, man, I'm in the trap. Because that's what they're seeing. I mean, they're in their house. They're in their home studio. They're selling weed out their bedroom, and they're going back in there and recording. And they feel like they're all, man, I'm living in the trap. I'm trapped out. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the mind state that they're getting. But when you take that studio level to when you're looking over the city, or you got these marvelous views and these massive speakers and the sound, the way that's it's hitting out hard, man. I mean, it's just hard to top that feeling of the smell. I mean, even just down to the smell of what a real studio smells like, in the booth, and it just smells professional. It makes you feel like, you're next level. It doesn't put you on the same.
I mean, just walking down that hallway,
right,
seeing all those plaques on the wall, it puts you in perspective.
It puts you straight to business. I mean, it makes you feel like it's time to get to business. It's like, the difference between playing at home or in your backyard and then getting to the big arena and walking in and seeing your name in the Raptors, or seeing the names of the greats in the Raptors and all of the fans and the seats and seeing the floor and the lights and the cameras and that's when you get to the bigger studios. That's the difference. Well, home studios is all right.
I think a lot of people don't even realize it until they actually step inside one. And they're, okay, right. I see now. Or I hear now.
Yeah, I mean,
turn
but a lot
those
of people
big speakers up at 9,000 and you feel it.
I mean, sometimes when you get, an amateur is an amateur, and an amateur is an amateur in opinion and amateur in the way he thinks and everything. Some people will come in, it's nice, man. It's just big. It ain't nothing more. I could do that. I could do that at home. I could put panels up on the wall, but they don't really see the details. They only see the cosmetic side. I can do this, I can do that, I can do this at home. But it's just because they're stuck in a certain mind state of where they're at already. They haven't faced reality.
Well, we got to get them in here for a tour of those people. Anyway, let me wrap this up. I can't take too long. Go ahead and plug yourself. Let people know where you're at, where they can find you on social media.
You can follow me at Fat Prophet on Instagram. And if you want to Google me, at Fat Prophet, FATPROFIT. My SoundCloud is at Fat Prophet, FATPROFIT. Yeah.
And if they want to book studio time, they can hit you up.
Yeah, and if you guys want to book studio time at Patchwork Recording Studios, feel free to hit my line, send me a direct message, and I'll take care of you. Producers. And also to the listeners out there, I'm throwing a 10% discount on your next session or whatever you want to do. If you come to the studio, just mention the show. Yeah.
Good deal. Producers. You taking beats? You working with producers?
Man, producers suck.
Well, damn. You just killed my dreams.
Yeah, man. Producers are
What's
in
wrong?
Their own space right now. And, artists are also. Everybody's just kind of on their, I need to make it on my own type situation. And
what's missing then?
Well, I mean, it's missing is the fact that people are being able to work together to make bodies of music without the difficulties of basically trying to line their own pockets on.
Everyone's trying to do it themselves.
Yeah,
getting the team together.
I mean, I like to say, what happens is you have a chief and a hunter in a village, right? So the hunter goes out and he brings back the food and feeds the whole village. There comes a point to where the hunter is tired now. The hunter done took a lot of time and he been on the road going up there getting the food and bringing it back. So finally now they appoint the other hunters in the village or other people in the village to go out and bring the food. But instead of the people bringing the food back, they'll rather just start their whole new camp. Or they'll rather just go party in someone else's camp with the food that they just got before they'll bring it back and feed their own village. So the village dies every time, because the hunters, you got the hunters that are dedicated that bring back the food, but when they go down and things get a little rough and they have to go, they can't go out and hunt right now. The other people in the village, they abandon the village to start their own village. Or they'll go to someone else's village because they don't want to go out and provide for the village that's been providing for them the whole time.
That's brings us to how to leverage the new social media movement and, how to leverage that. How can we use that to get people collaborating again?
I mean, it just has to be genuine. I mean, it can't be... I mean, it's just hard for a person to believe in... it's almost like saying, okay, I got a house. This is my house. But how can, if a person moves into your house, they're always going to treat it like it's your house. They'll never treat it like it's our house. And that's kind of how it is with dreams and things that you want to get done, is that you might believe in it so much that it's your house. And when other people come into your house, they don't want to make it their house. They don't treat it like it's our house. It's just your house, Tommy. It's your house.
All right. Well, good talking to you.
Right.
As always. Glad I made it down here to the patch again, once again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we'll have to keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
Fat Prophet.
Yeah, man. Holla at me. Social media, Fat Prophet.
So with that said, it's a wrap, guys. That was Thomas's first interview. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought he did a great job coming out the gates, and definitely held it down for me in my time away. But check out Fat Profit on Instagram, as well as if you're ever in Atlanta and you need a studio, Patchwork is the best studio out of Atlanta. I mean, they got gold records laid and platinum records laid all in the hallway. Just to let you know that those guys definitely make some noise over there. So with that said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Please hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. Give us feedback on this whole episode as we try to mix in a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of music into some of this business talks in between. And you guys can always reach me at Joe Alex Lemon. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Value Exchange, where we turn simple sales transactions to empowering moments. Until next time, you guys be great.